Oh, it's time to take a ride into the depths of the cranial cavity that houses one Matthew Archbold's brain. We find out what's on Matt Archbold's mind. Hey, Matt, how are you?
My concession speech sounds a lot like, honey, I'm sorry. I admit I was wrong, and
I give that one every morning.
98% of the time, I don't actually believe it. So, but I say it anyway.
It's all about a peaceful transition of power, isn't it?
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
Well, Philadelphia
So
Freedom.
you guys have nothing to talk about, huh?
No,
I mean, nothing going on in the world.
I know. It's been dead. Hey, I see you've redesigned the website there, creativeinorderreport.com.
Well, I didn't because I'm an idiot, but my brother did, and he had me offline for a few days, so I was left actually having to talk to my children for a few days, which was pretty scary, and I'm sure they're glad that time is over, and the site is back up, and Dad can go back to staring into a screen.
Freedom once again coming through the great state of Pennsylvania, the great area, of course, of Pennsylvania. Philadelphia playing a big part in this past election.
It really did. I am the worst. I truly, everyone who asked me, I was like, I just don't see how they can let Trump win. I just don't see. And it's such an odd thing, and you've probably all seen it, that essentially so Joe Biden got, 82 million votes?
Yeah.
And Kamala got 67 million. Now, you could say that those votes went to Trump, but no, Trump got pretty much the same amount that he got last time.
Yeah.
So now people are asking, where did those 15 million votes go?
Yeah, last time they kind of lowered the bar. Just mail in your envelope. Like, no,
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And when you have to go in
If you
person and actually present an ID, it kind of helps a little bit.
Right. If you just yell out your balcony who you support, that'll be registered as a vote. So pro-lifers took, on those individual ballot decisions, we took kind of a beating on Election Day, except for Florida. But there is a lot of really good news out there for pro-lifers, people who still see life as sacred. One, the fact that we're not going to get a president who signs a National Abortion Act that legalizes abortion nationwide up until possibly after the moment of birth. Right. That was on the agenda.
Yeah, it was.
And we avoided that. Mm-hmm. We're also not going to see the court get stacked with 3 or 5 more justices, which that was being talked about. And and believe them when they tell you what they're going to do. So that was all avoided. So there are really good signs. And essentially, where are we now? Abortion is essentially as a political issue, whereas an issue in and of itself has gone back to the states. Well, that's what we fought for 50 years to do. Right? We fought for 50 years to get it taken out of the Supreme Court's hands and put back to the states. Well, now they've done it. And now we have to start changing the hearts and minds. In fact, in some ways, this clarifies the issue for us. Because once again, it comes down to us convincing our friends, our families, and our neighbors that life is sacred. And I believe that the only true way to do that, truly, is to preach the truth of Christ. Because that's how you get to life is sacred. We can show pictures of babies in the womb. We could show 3D ultrasounds. But the only way that you value life in all stages is when you truly understand that the world was created as an act of love, and that we are called to copy that love in our own lives and bring that love into our own lives and decision-making. And I just think this is our ground. This is literally what we were created to do. We are told to go out and evangelize, preach the word of Christ. And this is what we do as Christians. So to me, this is a really great moment for Christianity, because the Great Commission is clear. Go out, preach the truth of Christ. And that's where we are. We have the opportunity to go save so many children, change the hearts and minds and souls. We no longer have to convince justices. We no longer have to convince politicians. We need to convince people. This is what we do. Let's go do it.
Yeah, and just
Amen.
a reminder.
And this is why you had such a successful write-in candidacy. I mean, your name got written on so many ballots out there.
And just a reminder to where we were, right, Matthew? I mean, it used to be the populace wanted pro-life measures, and they voted for them, and then the courts overturned them. Now we've got a court that's thrown it back to the populace. Now we've just, to your point, now we have the opportunity to go and just preach the gospel to them and build the numbers the right way and bring conversion with it.
Right. Like, I know there is a group called pro-life atheists, but I'm not sure I really understand it. Like, really. But I'm grateful to have their help, and I hope it, essentially the pro-life cause is a gateway for them to encounter Jesus Christ. But I truly believe that the antidote to this kind of behavior is Jesus Christ, and that's what we have to preach, and that's what we do preach. This is what we do, guys. Let's get to it.
Amen, brother.
It.
Amen.
Thank you.
CreativeMinorityReport.com. Check it out. Matthew Archbold, thanks. Have a great day.